We made it. We are here. We made it. And I don't say that as a throwaway. I say it because I know what it costs some of you to stay in this. Life doesn't stop where you're trying to build and grow a business as well as yourself. And quarter 2 was full of like a lot of great episodes covering purpose, money, the body, the spirit, accountability, trauma, and the whole architecture of what it means to be a man building something real. And if you were here for all of it, or even most of it, you did the real work. And I want to congratulate you. Today is a specific kind of episode. It's the last episode of quarter 2, and it's also the first episode of quarter 3. So it's like a bridge episode, right? And I want to use it the right way, not because we covered a lot. And I don't want to use this not just to recap what we built, but to show the full picture of it. Because I think when you can see all of it at once, something clicks that doesn't click while you're in the process of building, when you're in the middle of each individual episode. Today is about the whole man, you. Not a concept, not an aspiration, a specific built integrated vision of who you are becoming and what you are actually building when you invest in your brain health and financial health at the same time. This is Sana. I'm XO. Let's close out this one and start another chapter, man. We still building. And I want to pull back and show you what quarter 2 was actually building, not episode by episode, but as a single unified construction. We started quarter 2 with purpose, right? The why underneath the doing. Because without a why, all of the strategy, all the discipline, all of the building is just motion, productive, looking motion. That does not actually go anywhere meaningful. From purpose, we went into money, the psychology of it first, because you can't fix what you don't understand. Then we talked about the scarcity mindset and how to break it. This episode was impactful. I got a lot of feedback from it. It was just tough, man, because understanding that scarcity mindset, it was like, I want to say it was indoctrinated in us. And it's understanding how to break it. And once you break it, you start realizing the abundance of life, the abundance within your life. Then we got into the history, the racial wealth gap, and the deliberate architecture of it. Then we jumped into the practical order operations from building from wherever you are right now. Then we talked about career, income, building the ceiling higher than the foundation wider. Then we shifted into the body because the man building all of this is a physical being with a cortisol system, a sleep architecture, a nervous system that is either supporting the building or slowly undermining it. We talked about movement, about rest, about what chronic stress does to the exact cognitive systems that financial decision making depends on. Then we talked about the spirit, the internal anchor that holds when everything external was uncertain. Then masculinity and accountability, the relational proof of the inner work, how you actually show up for the people in your life, not just how you intend to. And last week, most powerful episode ever, healing, the trauma work. The thing most men are carrying underneath all the building that quietly caps what can be built. 13 episodes. We dug deep. I know y'all like, damn, we covered all that. Yeah, we went real deep in quarter 2. And I'm grateful for each episode because I learned a lot as I was recording them, as I was researching. I was like, man, it's crazy. But overall, I appreciate y'all and I thank y'all for consistently showing up for yourselves because this Sanai, the platform is truly for you. Helping us all as a collective, as a community, just to build something greater for our families, for our future, for our legacies. But overall, I do have some research for y'all. Guardian's 2025 Mind, Body, and Wallet study found that just 44% of Americans are very satisfied with their life, the lowest level recorded in a quarter century. Financial stress was identified as the primary driver of overall well-being decline. But here's what the same research confirms. Financial wellness, mental wellness, and physical wellness aren't 3 separate categories. They are one integrated system. What hurts one hurts all. What heals one helps all. And as you know, Sanai was built On this understanding before the research confirmed it. The whole man isn't a metaphor. It is the sustainable architecture for a life that actually works. That is what quarter two was. Not 13 isolated episodes, one integrated blueprint for the whole man. So I keep saying the whole man, the whole man, the whole man. I want to give you the clearest definition I can of what the whole man actually is, because I think the concept gets used loosely and I want to be precise. Y'all know I like to be precise. The whole man isn't the man who has it all figured out. He is not the man at the finish line. He is the man who is building all of the relevant dimensions of his life at the same time, not sequentially, not in silos, not one at a time when the others are done simultaneously. His brain health and financial health are connected, not because someone told him they should be, but because he has felt it. He has seen how financial stress impairs his thinking. He has experienced how clarity of mind improves his money decisions. He doesn't treat these as separate projects. He treats them as the same project. His body and his ambition are connected. He has learned that physical discipline is not just a vanity project. It is the mechanism that keeps cortisol in check, keeps his sleep architecture intact, and keeps the prefrontal cortex running at the level his goals require. He takes care of his body because he understands it is an infrastructure and not a decoration. His spirit, his purpose are connected. He has an anchor, some grounding force that gives the building direction and holds him when the external structures shake. He is not spiritual performing, he is spiritually rooted. His relationships and his inner work are connected. They go hand in hand, as you see right here if you're watching. He has done enough of the healing work or is actually doing the work now. But the walls are not fully up. He shows up for the people who matter. He is present, not just physically adjacent. That is the whole man. That is what the whole man is. Consistently working, growing on himself, healing from the past traumas, healing from his communication tactics, his body, his spirit, his mind. They're all connected in one. It's just continuously doing the work at the same time. It's like a group project, but you're doing it by yourself at the end of the day. So it's understanding like it's always going to be consistent work that needs to be done on yourself, whether that's physical, spiritual, mental, whatever it may be, financial. It's always going to be continuous work. The work is never going to stop. You ain't going to be like, oh, I'm done, finished. No, you're always going to have to be working on yourself to grow yourself to reach new levels. And the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health now funds research specifically on whole person health, defined as the integration of physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual dimensions of well-being. This isn't alternative medicine. This is where most rigorous health research is going. The scientific community is confirming what Sinai has been saying all year. You can't optimize one dimension in isolation without affecting all the others. The whole person framework is the new standard of health science. That is the whole man. Not perfect, not finished, not arrived, but continuously building, growing, evolving, all of it together with intention. That is the clearest definition for you. And I want to take a minute talking the two pillars of this platform. Because after a full quarter two was a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was like we discussed a lot, we handled a lot, and we helped a lot. And I think you can hear this in a way you might not have been able to at the beginning of the year. Brain health, financial health. Two words on either side of the Sinai name. And they were never meant to be separate. They were always meant to be understood as one thing. And here's an argument in the fullest form. Your financial decisions are made by your brain. Every investment choice, every negotiation, every savings habit, every impulse purchase, every avoidance of the account balance, those are cognitive and emotional events before they're financial ones. A man whose brain health is compromised by chronic stress, unresolved trauma, sleep deprivation, or scarcity thinking is making financial decisions from a degraded cognitive state. the money strategy is only as good as the mental state executed it. So it's like being aware of yourself, your brain health, unresolved trauma. If you have trauma from childhood or adulthood or maybe PTSD for something, it's understanding, okay, where do I need to go to understand the trauma and heal from it? Sleep deprivation. My biggest thing lately has been recording my sleep, making sure I'm getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night because I've seen the benefits of it, as well as that scarcity thinking. I know how it is we've been programmed to think scarcity, think lack, but there's so much abundance in this world that we have to just take the time to stop and think for ourselves. Sometimes you may have to spend 15 minutes a day thinking, just thinking with no distractions, and let your mind wander on the possibilities, the abundance of the world. And understand that. And your mental health is really shaped by your financial reality. Chronic financial stress is one of the most significant drivers of anxiety, depression, and cognitive impairment. The scarcity loop, where financial stress narrows cognitive bandwidth and drives short term decisions that worsen financial stress, is a documented cycle that traps men between the two pillars when those pillars are not held together. The man who fixes his mindset, but not his finances, is swimming upstream. The man who fixes his finances, but not his mindset, is building on sand. But the man who does both, not because it sounds good, but because the research is explicit. Financial wellness and mental wellness are interdependent systems. You can't fully stabilize one without the other. And research from Global Wellness Institute, a 2025 report on inclusive wellness trends, found that 83% of participants now prioritize mental wellness as the foundation, recognizing that it influences habits, decision making, and financial success across all life domains. Excuse me. The research showed that financial wellness remains the area of the highest stress and lowest performance. The gap between what people know they need and what they are actually building is widest, exactly where the two pillars meets. Sinai exact. This platform exists to close the gap. This is not a wellness podcast. This is not a finance podcast. This is the whole man podcast. And that distinction matters because it means every conversation we have has to touch both, not separately, but together. So, quarter two, that was the foundation. We laid the foundation out, right? The inner architecture, the mindset, the money framework, the body, the spirit, the relational accountability, the healing work. Quarter three takes that foundation and builds outward. So we're expanding in quarter three. We're building bigger, getting wider. We're going into relationships and love. How the whole man loves, not from a self-help angle, from an honest, research-backed, cultural specific angle that respects the complexity of what it means to be in a partnership as a Black man in 2026. We're going into fatherhood, the most concrete expression of legacy available to most men, what your children actually need from you. And how to father differently when you were not fathered the way you needed. What a strong, present, intentional Black father looks like right now. We're going into community because individual growth has a healing and a ceiling when it is not connected to collective power. How Black men rebuild social fabric, invest in each other, and create ecosystems that outlast any one man's success. We're going back into money. We're going to where the money resides, not the foundation level, though, the advanced level. Real estate, investing beyond the index fund, business ownership as the final answer to the wealth gap. Money 2.0 for the man who has the basics down, is ready to go further. 13 episodes, 4 themes, one straight line through, the whole man building outward from a solid foundation into the relationships, the community, and the wealth that make life meaningful. I'm hyped. I'm ready. I know y'all ready. I'm like, these next 13 episodes are going to show a lot within you and change a lot within you. Quarter two, like I said, it was the foundation. Quarter three, we're expanding. And quarter three, man, the relationships, the community, money, fatherhood. What more can you want? We about to get into it. So let me land this plane, ladies and gentlemen. You started this year somewhere. Maybe you started with Sanai from episode 1. Great episode at that. Maybe you found the show mid quarter 2. Maybe this is your first episode, wherever you came from. I'm honestly glad you're here because this isn't possible without you, without the community, without the audience, without you guys consistently supporting. Because what we're building on this show is not content. As a practice, a weekly commitment to take your brain health and financial health as seriously as your ambitions demand. A decision to be the whole man, not perfectly, not all at once, but deliberately and consistently. Quarter 2 gave you the blueprint. Quarter 3 gives you expansion, and what you build in this quarter in your relationships, in your fatherhood, in your community, in your money will be different because of the work you did in quarter 2. That isn't motivation. That is the architecture working the way it was designed to. The whole man doesn't arrive. He builds every week, every day, every month, every episode, every decision that reflects who he is choosing to become. That is the work. And you're in it. So with that being said, welcome to quarter 3. This is Sanai. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. I'm XO, man. I'll see y'all next week. Share the episode. Subscribe. If you're not watching us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. Share on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it, man. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at sanaiepodcast@gmail.com. The link will be in the show notes. But yeah, man, follow us on every social media platform at SanaIE. Greatly appreciate it. I love y'all, man. Enjoy y'all week. I'll be back again next week with SanaIE.